Hey, welcome in, everybody. Come on in. Thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. I'm Byron Jamal, your love guru, and we are about to go into Love Talk Live. Y'all know how I love me some Love Talk Live. This is where we get real people and we have real conversations. Okay, we're gonna have some real conversations. So get ready. Tonight I'm bringing in Bridgeforth and Ashleigh Demi. We're gonna have a great talk. I'm telling you, it's gonna be real. So I want you to go all in tonight. I want you to ask questions. I want you to do everything that you need to do. I'm going to make sure I'm gonna do some housekeeping for those of you it's your first time with me. First, I'm gonna give you. First, I want you to drop your city and your state. Drop your city and your state. I like to know where people are. I love to feel the connection and the vibe. There's people sometimes from all over the world, literally, who jump on here. So I want to know where you are. Tell me where you are, city and state. Right now, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I see Milwaukee in the building. Thank you for being on, Milwaukee. So drop your city and state. Feel free to drop questions for the guests tonight as well below. It's going to be fun, interactive, so get ready for that. Also, I'm about to do a quick 5-minute motivation on the power of silence. But before I do that, I just want to do a little bit more of welcoming you in. Thank you so much. I see you, Sam, my brother Sam. Y'all follow Sam, doing some great work, Dallas, Texas area. Thank you so much for being on. I see my brother Bridgeforth is on right now. I'm going to make sure that we get Ashleigh on as well to ensure that we are all in. But first, I just want to talk to you. And I like to go ahead and do this up front. For those of you who it's your first time hearing me speak at all, I like to have these conversations and be able to talk to you about something dear on my heart. And so one of the things dear on my heart today was this notion of silence. I was having a talk with somebody who had a funny thing, had stood me up on a date, right? Had stood me up. And I remember letting them have it. I just remember telling them how disrespectful it was, how much it hurt my feelings, how I didn't appreciate wasting my time, how I could have made other plans. I literally went through a litany of things using all the words I could possibly give. And what I'm trying to tell you right now is that I remembered something about myself. I had the power to exercise silence. I had the power to exercise silence. Let me say this. When your alarm goes off, you have a natural reaction. Your body says, I'm either need to get up for something or I'm missing something, right? So when your alarm goes off in the morning, you're either like, oops, did I oversleep or is it time for me to get up? Your body has a natural reaction to the sound of the alarm, right? Right? When you hear your phone vibrate, you're like, is it important? You're reaching for it. You're looking for it. You have a natural physical reaction. Your head turns. You have a natural reaction. Sounds cause us, hear me. Sounds cause us to have a natural reaction based on the sound we hear. Byron, where are you going with this? I deal with people all the time who literally are saying things out of their mouth like, I can't find love. Dating is too difficult. It's impossible to find love in the city that I live in. There's no way that nobody's mature. Everybody's playing games. These are sounds. I want you to catch this. Think about your alarm and think about what I'm saying right now. When you hear that, even from someone else or out of your own mouth, it's even more powerful out of your own mouth. But when you hear it from someone else, when you're around people that's all they talk about, it causes a natural reaction in you. Byron, what's the reaction? I can tell you what the reaction is when you hear that love's too difficult, that relationships don't last, that dating is impossible, that everybody's playing games. When you hear these sounds, they cause a physical reaction in you that causes you to tense up every part of you, shut down your heart, and lower your faith. My God, I'm telling you, all the things you need to make love work, all the things you need to attract love in your life, these things literally cause a natural reaction in you. I wish I could get an amen on that. A natural reaction in you to lower your faith, close your heart, and shut down your vulnerability. And so you've got to be able to exercise the power of silence. In that moment when they stood me up, all I needed to say was, Thank you. This didn't turn out the way I expected. And let that be all of my words. Because my silence, all that I was expressing was emoting and creating energy that wasn't healthy to the conversation or the relationship. So you have got to learn to use the power of your silence. Everybody doesn't deserve your words. Hear me when I say this. Somebody type that in. Everybody doesn't deserve my words. Everybody doesn't need to be reprimanded by you. Everybody doesn't need a lesson in manners from you. Everybody doesn't need a lesson in how to be chivalrous from you. Everybody doesn't need home training from your mouth. I'm telling you, everybody doesn't deserve your words. Your words are powerful. Your words are valuable. Save them on people that matter. Save your words on people that matter. Save your words on people that matter. Save that conversation for you, for the parent that you're not close to. Save it for the friends that you're trying to win them back and restore the relationship. Don't just spew out those words to coworkers that don't matter, to people you just met online. Save your words, because everyone doesn't deserve your words. Your words are valuable. So here's what you got to do. You got to value the power of your silence. When you are speaking, 9 times out of 10, it's reactionary. Yes, it's reactionary. When you exercise silence, you actually have control over your being. You have more control over your body, over your energy, when you are able to control your words and exercise silence. Think about all the times you just said things and then had to retract. That was compulsive. It wasn't in control. It was compulsive. You were out of control. You said it as a reaction to something that happened. You weren't in power. But silence, when you exercise silence, when you practice silence, when you are silent, you are in control. All I want from you today, the reason why this has been in my heart is because I realize, number one, everyone doesn't deserve the power of my words. Everyone doesn't deserve the value of my words. But also, I want to be in control of my own self. And when you control your words, you control your wealth, the wealth of your relationships, the wealth of in your bank account, the wealth of the stuff that comes to you and through you, when you're able to control your words. So the power of silence is literally an ability to have, think about this, and I want to use this example, how powerful silence is. In the wild, silence is used as a survival method. So we don't think of it like that, but we think we're doing something powerful when we're not silent. But in the wild, snakes that maneuver too much will go hungry. Yeah, a snake slithers slowly and quietly to get its prey. A tiger that's trying to get an antelope has to be silent, exercise silence before it strikes its prey. They have to be in control of the silence of themselves. Silence is survival in the wild, but it's also, we've lost that thought, but silence is survival for us. So I want you to be able to use less words. Think about if you only had fewer words to say the same thing. What would you say? If you only were given out a certain amount of words for the day, what would you use them on? Think of that, and you will empower your life. I just wanted to share that little thought today on the power of silence. Hopefully that helps somebody, because I know for myself that it's absolutely essential to not allow anyone to have control over your emotions. Let me tell you, babies, beloved, when you give up your words and you show that emotion and you give that out, people have control over you. So don't allow people to have control over you when you know you are worth more than that. And with that stated, I want to go ahead and bring on 2 amazing people who you need to know. First one up, I'm bringing in is Bridgeforth. Dave Bridgeforth is one of the great guys. I'm going to let him explain who he is. But he has his own magazine company. He's doing amazing things out in the world, and I want to bring him in. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey.
How's the day going?
Oh, it's over. Hallelujah.
It's over. I know that's right. Well, welcome on. Thank you so much for being on with me. I got Ashleigh coming in too. But go ahead and tell the good people where you are and what you're doing right now.
Well, where I currently am, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm at home in Buckhead. And what I'm doing right now, as in right this second, or like in my life?
In your life, brother. Where are you at in your
Oh,
life?
well.
Hey, Ashleigh.
Hi.
Welcome on.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good.
Sorry
Look,
to interrupt his intro. I'll let him go ahead and introduce
no,
himself.
you good, you good. So go ahead, Dave, and tell us what's going on in life.
Where I'm in my life, I don't know. As far as love, this is love talk. We talking about love. What we talking about? What you mean?
Yeah, you can talk about anything. Just what you're doing. The people want to know what you do.
I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot of different creative projects. I'm jumping all over the city between New York, Atlanta, and LA. On a regular basis, so it's a bit much, but which is probably why my love life sucks. But no, maybe I shouldn't say that because the words they get up in you.
All right now, there you go. You heard something.
Yeah. So let me just say I'll leave that there, and I'll pass it on to our other guest.
Ashleigh, yes, go ahead, Ashleigh. Love, welcome on. First of all, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me. I mean, it's an amazing evening. I am Ashleigh Demi. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about all things love. I mean, with COVID and being in quarantine, even post-COVID, people are still trying to get back in the dating scene. So I'm excited for tonight's conversation.
And you are spot on with that. So I know that right now, based on what he just said, he is single. Are you single right now, Ashleigh?
I am single.
Okay.
It
was
single.
the pause for me.
There was a pause because I had to think about it, but I am single. I'm single.
So
I'm unwedded. I'm unmarried. I'm uninvolved. I'm unattached. I'm single.
Well, there you go. You are single. It is two different things though. So I write this in one of my books about successful love. So talk about the phases of love. When you're single, you're in the single mindset, so you're not even looking for love. But when you're dating, doesn't mean you're dating someone. It just means that you are open to dating. So that it's, even though you are single, you're still single dating. So there's a different phase when you're in your life and in your mind. So are you in the single, not ready to mingle, or are you in the dating and open phase?
I am in the single, ready to mingle. I'm open-minded and ready to get wined and dined.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. What about for you, my brother?
Me too. No, I just entered into the dating phase.
Okay. All right. So because those are two different phases. Sometimes you living your best life. You working on vision. You work. And so you're not even thinking about it. And you got to be clear about that, because that means that when people come, you don't want to like play with them because you're not not in that space. Yeah, so I get that. Well, thank y'all for coming on. This is gonna be great. It's so funny. People are like, "How did you pair people up?" And it literally happened, sort of ish on purpose, but also it just happened divinely because y'all were like, "This is the time I got," and I knew y'all would mesh together. So it's gonna be a great conversation. Look, for both of you, how long have you been single, and what was why did the last relationship end?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
So I've been single for some time now, and it's so funny because I feel like there are two reasons why you end up single: because your heart is broken, or your mind hasn't opened up. It's one of the two. And for my side, my heart was a little broken. And on his side, he just didn't have an open mind about the way I live my life. So, that's what psychology says.
Pause on that, because that's big. And because I talked to some brothers the other day who are like all like celebrity entrepreneurs who don't have 9-to-5s.
They single?
They I don't think they're on your team, but yeah, that was a different crew. That was a different crew.
Okay.
That was a different crew. Yeah, that was a different crew.
Okay.
So they literally were like, it's hard to date at all because people just don't understand. Especially knowing you, Ashleigh. You're on a platform, right? You got a lot of things going on. You meet a lot of different people. It can be intimidating. Maybe the person just want to get on. It can be a number of things. And then the big thing though, I find, even me, is that people have an idea of who you are based on what they've seen on social media. And so they built a whole persona
Yes.
without even having one conversation with you, right?
Absolutely.
And so then when you don't live up to what they built in their head, they're like, well, you're supposed to be, you know, and I'm like, whoa, hey, you don't even know my middle name. Like, what's going
Yes. You don't know my legal last name. Really?
on?
So
So when you
true.
said that, it triggered because what was that? You were like, yeah, and then because of how I move and how I roll and all the things I got going on.
I mean, as you know, I live my best life, hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Y'all follow her. If you don't, you will get all your joy. Okay.
Okay, God has given me because everybody dies, but everybody lives, and I live. I get paid to live. I have a good time living, so I just live.
That.
And some people look at that like, oh, you know, you post the dinner, but you don't post the spender. I'm the spender. I spend my own money. So it's just people assume that, oh, you know, I'm not one of those. I built my own empire, and I'm gonna keep building. So, you know, men assume that you have some sponsor or whatever. So it's so hard to try to combat what they see on social media. It's like, can we date in the 90s before social media came out?
Come on. You know? I know social media has changed the game, but before I talk about, because I can dive into social media all day. But before I do, Brother Dave, tell everybody about your situation. How long have you been single, and what was the reason for the last one ending?
Yeah, so I've been single 6 years. I know, right? 6 years. Whew.
Long time.
And it's only this year that I was interested in being back in a relationship. I said, okay, I'm getting old now. I mean, you know, I'm healed. Or at least I'm 95%, 97% healed.
Okay.
That's good enough to get on the market. I ain't gonna hurt people, hurt other people. So, you know,
right.
I'm ready to get on the market again. And I was getting, you know, I just want to, you know, family and other things. And so, but the reason was my breakup was so public and so humiliating and mortifying and embarrassing and heartbreaking and scandalous because, you know, being in the public eye and, you know, never having a public boyfriend and having a public boyfriend and then everybody see your man and then everybody, you know, you understand me, you know.
Yep.
So
I don't post
that. After that, you don't want nobody stepping in your motherfucking spotlight.
Everybody.
You don't want nobody stepping in your spotlight with you. You know. So it's been 6 years of just working on my stuff, minding my business. You know, taking care of me. You know, which is the job for life. So you know.
Well, thank God that somebody else did 6 years because I felt like I did 6 years and I felt like I was all by myself.
You did 6 years too?
I did 6 solid years after mine because mine was similar. I literally had a breakup that broke me down. You know, you have that breakup that break you down. I had that situation where they just were lying in the streets and like just like throwing my name left and right. And people were like, Byron, are you some other person in private? Like, I was like, no, I am. Ask my mama. She was there through all the fights. So it was like, I realized in that moment that, brother, you don't have to be single anymore. You know, there's a point where you are too good at being single. And if you stay that way, I call them super singles. So the point where you just too good at being single, where single is feeling way too, like it's a good and it's way too good. And then, because when you're in way too good, you're like, do I even want a relationship at this point?
Do I want to care about somebody else's bag at the end of the day? Or do I
might not?
That's me. I'm so happy by myself. And it's so funny. I talk to a lot of girls. They're like, oh, I need a man. And I'm like, well, how long have you been single? Girl, 2 weeks. I'm like, 2 weeks? I have so much joy in this by myself. And if you can't be happy alone, you're not going to be happy with somebody else. Okay. They're just filling the space.
I agree.
I love to date myself. Okay.
I love that too. But, you know, okay. So back to the super, because look, let me tell you something. You got to date yourself. Yes. But there is that line where you have gone so deep with the self-love and the I'm single and can't nobody do nothing better than I can do for me. And that energy is just like a force field around you. So that anybody that comes in, it's like, I'm good. I'm good. You over here doing, you know, karate, kung fu, you know, you just like blocking left and right. Shutting them down.
Yeah,
Have y'all been like that where your energy was just like, you realize, you look back and you were like, what? My energy was like,
I mean, no, because for me, it just higher. It makes my standards even higher. Like, okay, no, up, he can't formulate a sentence. No, up, he didn't open my door. No, up, you want me to get the check? No. I mean, so you just your standards are so high because you have so much comfort and so much love for yourself that you know your self-worth that you're like, no, next.
Yeah.
So it's easy to weed out the the thorns and just get to that rose that you want.
It's like if the person is going to bring an experience that is better than your own solitude. I think someone wrote. I didn't write it. But
Yeah.
better than your own solitude. If you ain't making, I'm already good.
Yeah.
Good. So if you ain't bringing icing on the cake, if you ain't bringing another bottle of prosecco, if you're not bringing a good time, if it ain't Christmas because you here, then I don't know why I want to hear about your stresses at the end of the day because I have my own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really because everybody's in here trying to manifest their own stuff, and so it's really hard if you be single and you heal your own self and you got your own business. You don't really want to deal with no one's energy, and so I commend relationship people who've been together 97 years because I'm
Shade.
Whole 97 too.
woo of caring about other people's stuff.
Yes.
So yeah.
So it can be interesting to watch people who are in relationships and you see them lose themselves because they got with somebody who wasn't all that interesting and they had to make the person interesting and they had to change who they were in order to accommodate that person. So let's each give our worst relationship moment for somebody out there, the worst relationship moment you had and what you learned from it. We'll let the guy, Dave, you go first.
My worst relationship moment. Oh God, my eyes is watering. I don't know why my eyes are watering. My breakup. I mean, it was my breakup because my relationship was really good. My last relationship was really, really good, but my breakup. Once that Negro got single, the minute went past 1 minute past single. Everyone was on. Everyone was on the board. He just
wow.
Everybody. He dated everyone. He kind of fucked with everyone. Friends, colleagues. People that we bumped into. It was free for all. And so it kind of messed my relationships up because I couldn't hang out with you because then you stick with my ex. When you out with dinner with him. It was like, so I had to just, I was at home crying. I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't going nowhere. It was very bad for me for a while.
Did you eat your Ben and Jerry's or were you on some Oreos or,
I ate Domino's pizza and watched The Bold and the Beautiful on the floor of my best friend's house because I was homeless after my breakup. Okay.
Right, yeah. That's some real life stuff for anybody listening. When you want to jump into relationships and you start merging stuff and you start living with each other, you got to remember that it's comfortable to be together, but the breakup is often somebody is not coming out. It's not coming out even. Let's just say that it's not.
That's a no for me. All day. You would not live with me. You are not shacking up. Call me old fashioned, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So it would have to be marriage or engagement.
Engagement. The ring has to be on. Fitted, size. Yeah. No.
Already locked in.
And even coming over every night, here, there. No. If you cohabitating in the same space for 5 to 6, 7 days, y'all live together, just in different spaces. So no. Yeah. That's a no for me.
If you have a drawer at the house, y'all live together. Yeah.
If your toothbrush is there, that's a problem.
If you have an extra toothbrush,
I mean, I can get toothbrush and washcloth, and I have a big palatial closet, so I have a space in the closet for your little. But it ain't gonna get over. The drawers filled. You ain't gonna be staying too. You can stay over, but I have meetings. I need my space back. So go to work, go live your life, go
Go manifest.
Now don't get
twisted. Make a bag. Bring a bag home. Go.
Bring a bag.
Yeah.
Because I keep a toothbrush in my bag. We got to keep our pearly whites and our great breath. But I don't want it at your place. No, I don't want to. No, I don't want the assumptive approach. Go home. Here's the door. Good to see you.
Yeah.
It says a lot when you leave something. And that was one of the mistakes that I made early on in one of my early relationships was I just allowed cohabitation too hard and too heavy. And so we moved faster because they were always over and always staying over. So it's one thing to pop over and be like, hey, we're hanging out, watch a movie, you go home.
Mhm.
But when you're staying over, it's like, okay, now we are sharing space. Now I'm worried about how you sleeping, how you waking. My routine is shifting. You know, the things I would normally do each day is different now because, you know, I would normally get up at 5 and do my meditation, and now I'm sleeping in because I'm cuddled up with you, and it's 8 o'clock and I'm all off schedule, you know. So yeah, go slower. I tell people all that all the time though. If we're forever, then going slow is not a problem, right?
Right.
Like if this is forever, what's the rush?
That was one of the most asked question in my DM. Like, did you ever live with your boyfriend? Never. I mean, because I wake up at 10. You know, I have my boss girlfriends. I see some of them here. They get up at 6, 7, 8. That's them. They are amazing. So I don't. So I don't want no Negro waking up at 6 a.m. and I'm just late. I mean, so, you know, because I love myself the most and my priorities, my goals, my vision, my manifestation comes first. I have to live my life, and then we can get together later on during the daytime. But just to stay here all day long, because then the expectation has risen. Oh, you cooking dinner? Oh, you doing this? Oh, you gonna wash clothes? We either doing roommate duties or wife duties, and I'm neither one. So
I'm saying, are you paying something?
Yeah.
Are you paying for some? At some point, you paying for some. I mean, you gonna pay. I mean, if you over here that much,
yeah,
you should be paying. You should be buying a grocery or two because you're eating everything up.
Exactly.
He just wanted to be. He said his good side was the other side. That's why he got off and got back on.
Phone calls came in. I was like, oh no, I need to have no.
Do not disturb. You got to put do not disturb
on.
Because I learned that with IG Live. Baby, this thing will mess up. If you get one phone call, this thing will be like,
yes.
You will be muted.
Yes.
Muted and booted, okay?
Take it back to the verses, Babyface and Teddy Riley days. No bad connections. I love it though. Bad no shade.
Take me back. Look, so you're both in the space now where you do want love and you're open to it at least a little bit. And so what is the main thing that you're keeping in mind as you're looking at interesting people, as your potentials? What is the main thought in your head right now, Ashleigh?
Communication. Communication is key. Like, please don't try to identify me via social media. Don't try to depict my character, my schedule, because I will look so busy, but I really could be in the house chilling, just MIA. So just come to me and talk to me, have questions, so we can really connect and have a in real life relationship.
Ooh, that's good. I can't stand when somebody comes to me and say, I know you so busy, but I just maybe you'll make a little time for me. See, then I'm like, okay, I already see you playing them little manipulation. Nah, we good. Yeah. We good. Thank you, though. Yeah. I am busy now. I'm very busy right now.
Right. Like, ooh,
I'm very busy. Yes. Hold on, let me find something. Let me find something to do. Come on.
Let me go get something to do.
I was just watching Golden Girls, but now I'm real busy. I'm real busy. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's good. I completely understand now. Dave, what about for you, brother?
What's the question? I can't.
So the main thing right now that as you're looking at potential people, what is one of the main things that you're keeping in mind? For Ashleigh, it was, communication and how they communicate. What about for you?
What am I keeping in mind about them, or what am I keeping in mind about myself as I navigate?
Either one. What's on your mind?
Well, for me, I'm always thinking about David. I'm always clarity. I'm always wanting to be clear because I know what I'm putting out is coming back to me, and I'm attracting all kind of different peoples. Okay, or up in my
all kind of
folks is up in my DMs. Okay, for all kind of different reasons in all seasons, and so I navigate. I'm like, universe, what am I asking for, and then I'll get something that is close to what I'm asking for. It's 85%, it's 87%. And then I have to be really careful, and I have to take my time, because the moment that there's something that I don't like, and I start focusing on what I don't like, then all of a sudden I'm not a match to that person. Then the universe is going to send me somebody completely different that doesn't have that stuff. Yeah. So I have to really say, Dave, is it really an issue? Or, are you just going to be like fine tuning and every week it's going to be a different Negro coming in that's closer to what you want? I mean, I guess you get closer to what you want, but it's contrast. So when you meet a guy, you think you want this, then you realize, oh, that with that don't work.
Yes.
I need a little bit of this with this. And so then you get that and you're like, oh, a little salt, a little pepper, you know what I'm saying? So I'm having that as I date. And
I love salt and pepper.
I don't know if it's,
I can believe that too.
I do too. I need my seasoning, okay? I don't know. I can't say it's a bad thing, but I'm just wanting to be more conscious and more clear, because if I show up to the dating scene more clear, then there's going to be less time wasted. Less, I don't want to have to date 15 of y'all.
Yes. Well, I do say that dating multiple people does give you more clarity about what you want. Because, how do you, just like I tell a story all the time about when I went sofa shopping for the first time. And it was I'd sat on a lot of sofas, but I had never sat on one I would own. And so when I went to the sofa shop, I was a little overwhelmed because I thought I knew what I wanted, but then I sat in it and I didn't really like it. I liked the way it looked, but I didn't like the way it felt. And so then I had to match up the appearance with the feeling, and I had to find the right fit. And I went to several different stores, and it took a long time. But finally, I figured out what was going to work for me. You sometimes, and this is the moral of the story, sometimes you got to sit on a lot of sofas to find the right fit. And that's with dating. You don't sometimes know what you want until you date somebody who shows you that this. See, I thought for a long time, I just wanted somebody who was regular, schmegular, 9 to 5, easy life. I can deal with, let me be the busy one, and we'll work it out. Heck no, I realized that I need somebody equally as crazy as me to have their own business. They be doing multiple things, hands in multiple pots, so we can understand one another, because people who don't get it, don't get it. And so I realized that by dating enough people who were 9 to 5, and it was like, I got to explain this again? Okay. All right. So I have an interview I have to do. I need to do some work for the interview first. Okay. So I'll be busy Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay. So, yeah, that life.
Please don't
but you have to date them. You have to date.
Yeah.
You have to date. You have to just get out there and do it. That's the only way you'll know what you really, really want. And so I'm glad that you said that about wanting to get clarity, because eventually once you do know, it makes it much easier to date, because clarity, I would say clarity breeds confidence. And when you're confident about what you want, then you can build a connection with somebody who matches that. But you can't build the connection until you have the clarity, because the confidence isn't there. And a lot of times I know when I was going out and dating, I didn't know what I really want. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, let this be a halfway decent date, Lord. Let at least them not be crazy today, Father God. Like I would be doing prayers to say at least let them eat with, not eat with their hands or something,
I do that.
Their fingers
I do affirmation. No, I do affirmation. I said, this would be a great date. This would not be a waste of my money or my time.
Yes.
Enjoy myself. Because, Lord, if I come here and this Negro is not, and I got to pay for dinner, please believe, eventually, it's going to be some stuff.
I know. I love being a female. I'm not paying for the dinner unless it's me.
I know.
That's an epic
but
fail. The minute
the
you say,
money.
where's the door? Where's the door? Where's
the door?
I'm leaving.
Yeah. You in the gay world, you can't make the most money and, be the one that people know and see, and then you want to, I get shocked, because there's been times I say, I'm treating us. Right. You want to treat me? Oh, okay.
Say, why not?
I know.
So my mouth has been zipped here in Atlanta about twice, but other than that,
So it's funny that we're having this conversation, because times have changed a lot. And Sam just asked, has a date ever eaten with their hands before? Yes, they have eaten with their hands, and it was not at a spot they should. How you eat Italian food with your hand? Anyway, so and it wasn't pizza. So I really realized that for me, I needed to be able to be very clear about how I said yes. My first instinct is to say no, and then a maybe, and then a yes. Right? It's easier to go from no to a yes than a yes to a no.
I say yes a lot.
You say, see? And see,
I
because
always say
I'm
yes.
a yes
I
person,
say
I like
no
to
a
make
lot.
people, I serve people all the time.
I say yes a lot. I think, yeah, you know, when I say yes, I always go back to Maya Angelou, you know, and how she talked about you need to say yes more to life. You know, I got to meet Maya Angelou and spend time with her.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of memories, but I know she always talked about, you know, saying how she would say yes. She would expand herself. She would do as much as she can. And so I say yes to dates. I say yes to a lot of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go out. I'll go dinner. Because I can go out with you and realize, oh, this ain't going to happen. And turn the date right the fuck around. You're going to pay for this date, but we are not dating, honey. But we will
I don't.
your future. And maybe I'll help you. It will become something else very quickly.
Yes.
Wow.
And the date's still on you. So I won't miss an opportunity if someone is, you know, I won't miss opportunity to, you know, meet people who want to hang out if it's going to be a great moment. But, you know, I say yes a lot for a lot of people.
You're making me laugh because I remember a pastor of mine saying, well, you got to eat. So might as well, you might as well eat with them and see what happens, right?
You know, and we can have a conversation, man. It don't have to go that way.
No,
You wanted to go there. Does not mean it has to go there. You know, doesn't mean God has ordained for us.
the older I get, the more I say no. I mean, I guess because I don't get my time back, and time is everything.
Yeah.
So if I don't really want to go spend time with you, I'm not going. So I'm quick to say no. I can't. Like, you can get the money back all day, but the time I cannot get back. I could have been chilling with my chihuahua or my mommy or my besties.
Yeah.
Now,
see, I'm all for Mama Maya, right?
Yes.
But
yes.
But the older I get as well, Ashleigh, the more I protect my peace and my energy. The more I guard it like a watchdog. The more that I literally am like, I gotta make sure that I gotta know before I know. I gotta have a feeling like this is gonna be well. I can do the affirmation, but I have got to feel like this is meant to have some kind of purpose before I even say yes. That's why I ponder. I'll be like, okay, I'll get back to you. See, my get back to you helps me do a little bit more prayer. And then when I feel confident, then I don't do that with life events. You know, it's only with people when they want to specifically date. Like I'll try things in life all the time. Like I'm going skydiving this weekend. So I'll try stuff, but I'm not doing it. Yeah, you can skydive. You can skydive. You can do it.
I don't know if the anointing reaches. I gotta make sure the anointing reaches up that far. I can't be just jumping, talking about come get me, God.
Now wait a minute, you going on random dates with strangers? You can't skydive. That's about the same thing.
See?
You don't know when you go on that date that parachute gonna open.
Okay.
Oh Jesus, no.
I done went on some crazy dates in college. I had to steal his car and leave him at the restaurant. It was a lot. So listen, now I say no. Now, it can be so tempting. For example, last night I think I was out getting gas too late, but he was like, "How you doing? Just take all my money." No. That sounded good, but no. I'm grown. I make my own money. I got my own stuff to do.
Sound like the Lord was trying to bless you. Sound like the Lord was trying to bless you.
And I was like, if I was in my 20s, I'd be like, sure. Now I'm like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah,
but I say no a lot. I can't help it.
I already see where that's going.
Already, right. I already know where that. To say you owe me something.
Okay.
Now let's say you owe me something. Hey, come on, y'all know. Shorty.
That was the jam too. So it's like, say what's your price? And he was
say what's your price?
I said, I'm too expensive for you, right? He pulls up and got a what you call it, a spare tire? No, I was like, you know what? I can't. No. And maybe that's me, but again, when you value yourself and put your self-worth ahead of everything else, you know, like, no, thanks.
You get it. Yeah. So for both of you right now, what is your biggest lesson that you've learned from dating? The biggest lesson that you remind yourself before you even go on the date? We'll start with Dave.
I try to see what, I guess I'm looking for what makes them exceptional, what makes them, what is their, if they have a purity box, what is that purity box? What is that special thing? Because some people, good child, give it up on the corner for free. You know, some people, don't have it anymore. I mean, it's not something that our culture is, cultivating. Being that special, sacred thing about you that, you know, we lose ourselves. We're born unique, but we die copies, you know. So, you know, and you know this. So, I mean, but so I'm always looking for what that is, what their gifts are, what makes them beautiful, so I can, you know, try to accentuate that in any kind of dating situation, because that kind of really is where it starts. Because if you grab a hold of something I don't like eating with your fingers at the dinner table, then child, we're going the wrong direction.
Child.
It's like,
I done cleaned all this good silverware. I polished it for you. You're gonna use your fingers.
so I try to, when I did,
Get out of here.
I try to see what makes them beautiful, to see what can come, because, you know, and trying to see people who they are. You know, I'm dating different kinds of people. I have, you know, I don't have a type. I have types, plural. So I've seen different.
Okay.
So there's you know, there's different types. So, you know, I've been very open, and I've been saying yes. And you know, when I see a red flag, please believe I go into detail. We take screenshots of the red flag. We write down notes on the red flag. We then call meetings for the red flag.
Yes.
We do readjustments to to scopes of work for the red flag. Like, I do a whole bunch when I see red flags. Because, you know, at this point, people tell you who they are, believe them the first time. Yes. And they might even use words. They might not tell you they're crazy. You have to look at craziness. You have to look over here and listen to them talking to their mama crazy. You have to pay attention to the details. So, I mean, at this point, it's God has blessed me with too many experiences and gifts and trauma and stuff for me to act like I'm a dum-dum walking into some dumb shit. Excuse my language again. But
that's real.
Now my eyes are wide open, and I'm very clear, and you know, there's grace that abounds, and there's love that abounds, and there's a no judgment free zone in space.
Okay.
Please believe I'm very clear about what I'm looking for at this time in my life, because I don't have time to waste.
No time to waste. So you know what? I realized that too, brother. Like, for real, when you realize, somebody said Maya is in the Amen, is a mentor tonight.
Amen corner.
On purpose. She's here.
Children, when someone shows you who they are.
Yeah. Take some rose-colored glasses off and see who they are.
She is Mama Maya. Okay, she is Mama Maya. No. I realized that too, that I needed to be well aware of what it was that I needed because of where I know I'm going. Mm-hmm. And so when I see someone, like I, as a love guru, I can't have somebody who's popping off on people left and right. That's just not, if you fighting with strangers and you arguing with servers and you always popping off on something, that is not somebody I can take with me. That's not a good reflection of the character that I represent. So a lot of people, the reason why they say yes to certain people is because they haven't really defined who they are and where they're going. They don't know their own purpose. But I think it's a lot easier to date when you know your purpose and your own assignment, because now it weeds out a lot of people. If you have an open enrollment for a job, you just say, hey, anybody want to come here? We'll hire on the spot. We don't know what qualifications yet, but just come, anybody, everybody. No. I need you to say, okay, anybody who can work these particular hours, who can handle this amount of weight, who can deal with these type of people, who can deal with these type of scenarios, who can handle this type of energy, who knows this type of life. Then now, okay, everybody else just step over to the right, because we just gonna say goodbye. Thank you for coming. But for those people, now it's narrowed it down. So my energy, I don't have to date the world. I can date that pool.
Very clear.
Yeah. And so it helps. I think you really got to know yourself a lot more. What about for you, Ashleigh?
So tell me the question again.
So we're just talking about the biggest lesson you learned from dating and relationships.
So many lessons. I mean, the main lesson is to not overlook the red flags. Like you said, you may see them, but I think in the very beginning, I'm so observant and so nosy that I'm like, did he really just do that? Okay. Did you not? Okay. So it's like, okay, like you said, just make note of that and then act on it. Don't wait. Like, I'm not the type of person that's going to stay with you for a year. If I see red flags within that first trimester, then it's a problem.
Screenshot, take pictures.
Baby, we good.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, and just ask questions. A lot of people are like, oh, I ask so many questions. You would think I was a private eye. Like, I ask you questions like, where do you live? Who do you live with? Where do you work? What time do you come? Like, you gotta ask questions, because then
Yes, you do.
you can be able to identify the lies. Like, well, Monday on the 15th, you said you get off at 2, but now you get off at 4. Or you said you live in Bowie. Now you live in South Philly. I'm confused. So you gotta ask questions and make notes.
On the south side of Philly, they were born and raised, right?
You only live in Bowie at your mama's house.
You didn't ask me nothing. You didn't even ask me that. Hey, you gotta ask.
No, that's real. Like, do you live by yourself, or you live with? That's a great question.
Well, you
Because
know,
that'll tell you, I'm living with my ex. I'm living with a friend. I'm living with, okay.
Right.
And so I think you're absolutely right. People don't ask good questions. They get so infatuated. We're trying to focus on spending time when, again, as I mentioned earlier, if this is forever, then we have a lot of time. So I don't need to rush anything. I need to ask the right questions up front to make sure I get the information that's going to serve this interaction best, not just me best, but you too. Because I may hear an answer that I say, look, I'm going to end up wasting your time, because this ain't going to work on either side. You want something clearly. Like, you say, oh, yeah, so what type of pets do you like? And they're like, oh, I love pigs. I just love pigs. I would have pigs all day. And I'm like, so I'm not really a pig person. I couldn't really see myself having a pig. I've never had a pig, but I don't really see myself. And they're like, oh, no, I got to have pigs. Okay. Well, this was, people love their pets, and I just don't want to get between you and Porky. I just don't want to get between you and Babe. I just don't want to do
I love him so much. I mean, but that's something you can change, not pigs. But I used to act like animals in the house. Oh my God, that my little poo-poo be right in my lap. Like, so I mean, that'll change over time. So it's certain things that you like, okay, are you willing to, I hate to say change, because nobody changes for anybody, but just to be open for decisions and opportunities and choices, just an opportunity you can try to, meet the dog.
I agree with you. Fundamentally, I think there are some things, and I've learned this more over time. I used to be very flexible, be very malleable, but I'd still tell people to do that. But there are some things, if for instance, you were never the type of person to be even able to care for a plant, then you probably don't want to get a pet that's going to require a lot of effort. And so when you are trying to be with somebody who's heavy in that, then you got to have different conversations, because now you're like, okay, I don't mind pets in the house, but just know that I probably won't be great at taking care of them. Are you going to get upset with me if I forget to feed Fido? If I forget, is this going to, I want it to be more of us. And I'm not saying I'm not going to do anything, but just understand this is more important to you than it is to me in this moment. And I'm just letting you know up front. And those kind of conversations, I think, are real. I think what people do are like, okay, they're a dog person. I'm going to become a dog person so that I can be with this person. I don't think that's the easiest match. I think the easiest match is to find someone who's also a dog person.
And again, communication, because I'm never home. I may be home once or twice out of the week, and in any other city around the world, my dog has been a sitter, his grandma. Yes. So he's with my mother's 24/7. I mean, she's retired. My dad is retired. They love the dog. So as much as I'm a Chihuahua, I love her. He's never here. And I don't want him peeing on my hardwood floors. Ooh. So it's, he comes for a visit. So, having that communication to say, well, I love him, but he's not here 24/7. So are you okay with that? I swear, communication will just throw you a life jacket if you just communicate.
So true. What's one question, if each of you could ask me anything, what's one question you would ask me about something you've gone through or gone through? I like this question.
I have a question. I just don't know. She's them good, so I gotta.
He got to go in for the end. I got you.
Oh.
Let me get ready to.
Bishop, I'm sorry, not Bishop. Love Guru. Same anointing.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about the OnlyFans thing. Because I mean, I don't know what she's going running into. I don't know if she's running a whole bunch of niggas that OnlyFans. Nothing wrong with it, but I mean, I didn't really envision my husband being a porn star or being an ex-porn star, so I'm thinking like, damn it. Everybody, it just pops up. So I just really been trying to navigate how do you celebrate that and also, not offend people when you don't really want to date that and then, but that's just being such a growing, moving, trending, common for our culture. That wasn't culture before me. So I've really been trying to navigate that because, it's sexy, but also I'll be thinking like, okay, that's nice. But I'm thinking like, I think of marriage and I think of, I just think of a whole bunch of other stuff in my mind. Thinks, no, I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, so that's a great question of something that is rising right now. A lot of people are doing some sort of sex work. A lot of people are engaged in that. They were doing that on AOL chats. We just didn't, they was just listed differently. They were doing that on Craigslist. It was just listed differently.
Listed differently. Love it.
Now it's on OnlyFans and it's more open and more accepted. And so you have people who are, especially during COVID, a lot of people who are falling on hard times and just needed that extra money. So first thing I would ask is somebody who does OnlyFans, but they only showed their feet or they, did something like that, is that okay? Or is it if they were doing just solo sex, you know what I mean? If they were doing just solo sex, is that okay? Or if they were just having it with everybody and anybody, like what's the level? Or is it just zero? I think in this age, I definitely agree that it's more difficult if that's not you and you never experienced something. Like as a person who's adopted, there's a lot of people who haven't been adopted, so they don't know what that feels like or the triggers or things like that. So there's a lot of conversations sometimes you have to have up front with people to help them understand the mentality, the psyche, what goes into it, what it felt like, so you have a better understanding of the why behind the situation. So I wouldn't automatically just discount someone because they did that. And I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that I wouldn't automatically, but I definitely would have to have, going back to Ashleigh's word, communication, have some deep talks about why they did it, how they did it, and how would they ever do it again, or are they still doing it? Because those all matter. And once you get those answers, and if they satisfy you, then you can, potentially move forward. But if any of those, trigger you in some way, I would just say to the next. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that for them, they felt like that was their only option.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know I know a lot of people. I guess for me, this is something that I'm figuring out for myself. So I guess of course you can't answer this because I kind of gotta figure out what the hell I want. When I'm clear about
clarity.
Clarity.
You get the confidence.
But that was the first thing on my mind because that's the thing that I've been thinking about recently. Because I don't mind spice. I released my own nude at 30. Okay, because I wanted to talk about sex, and I feel like I couldn't talk about sex in front of your body, and I'm afraid to show my ass on the internet.
Yeah.
No, this body is bombing, banging. So I did a photo shoot and released my own nudes when I turned 30 years ago. So so I'm for it. But I was just thinking like, oh yeah, in my own magazine.
She's scrolling your page right now.
One of these magazines back here.
She's scrolling your page right now. She's trying to find it. She's like, Lord,
myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm all for it. I'm all for the affirmation and the liberation of sexuality. But I just was, certain things trigger me. I'm like, oh Jesus, because I'm thinking of dating again, and I gotta get clear. And so it's just a process, I guess, that I have to navigate, blindly myself. But it is a process.
It is a process. Get that clarity so you have the confidence. The confidence will breed the connection, and you'll be just fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hello, Ashleigh. What about for you, love?
It's Ashley's turn, yes.
I have a question, but I feel like I know the answer to it.
That's
because
fine.
now I love my blue-eyed and blonde hair men or dark hair. So and now I'm ready to tap into a different race. So it's like, where do I go about doing that? But I have so many Caucasian friends and Asian friends who will be like, come on. But, they want to talk to me, but I think I may just have too much going on for them. you know, white men like the small and skinny, and there's nothing small and skinny about me. So I just got to figure out how to listen. I got a lot going on. So I'm just trying to figure out what is the best way to attract the attention.
So if you're trying to attract the attention of a different race, every race has their things that they hold in higher esteem. Now, some of that has crossed over because of social media and influencers, but there are some things like, African American men are typically butt people. White men are definitely heavy on the breast. You have your different things.
Okay.
But it's less about that and more about your energy when you approach them. I think someone who's comfortable with that race, will end up doing well attracting that race. What ends up happening is the reason why certain people be like, I can attract, thugs, or I can attract, really wealthy guys, or I can attract this or that, is because there's a comfort level that you already have with them. That you just ooze out the kind of energy that they're like, okay, this isn't going to be as difficult. And so for them, they don't want difficulty. And so if they feel tension or any angst or anxiety, then they're going to be a little more apprehensive. So you have to get comfortable. That means you may need to just be around them more.
Yeah.
So that you can just get comfortable being around them so that it just becomes more natural. Try to pick one out and be like, I'm gonna date you. It's kind of like that, the white guy tries to date the black girl who's like never dated anybody black or never been around black people, and he's like saying all the crazy stuff and nervous about what to say and how to say it and if he's going to offend. It's an awkward relationship. It can work, but it's awkward. And so being around them more will definitely. So like for my clients who are like, Byron, I really want to level up the type of people that I date. I say, well, where do you hang out? And when they give me the places that they hang out, and I'm like, now, I'm not saying wealthy people don't hang there, but the likelihood that the wealthy people are in abundance there is probably very small. You're probably dealing with middle to low income people at the places that you're hanging with. So you might want to go sit at up in Buckhead area at a nice bar. Go hang out at some of the nice seafood, steak places, sit at the bar, get you a drink, get you an appetizer if you can't afford everything. Just start hanging out places and have conversations with people. That way you'll meet some more people who are more affluent, who are more ambitious, who are entrepreneurs, who are doing bigger things you want to do, and the type of people you want to attract. And the more you get comfortable having that communication, the more natural you will attract those people.
Yeah, I mean, because I have so many friends that are, they're friends, but, I want to be like, so. But I think the problem to me is it's like, would you take me home to your mom? So a lot of the white guys, when you talk to them, they're like, oh, I'm from the South and I'm here. They don't do that in the South, though. It's a little different.
No, they don't do that in the South. But you're North. You should be able to find somebody up there, right?
I know, right? But yeah, I'm trying to. We'll have to see how that's.
Especially in that DC area, I'm thinking like, you should definitely be able to find some little non-Republican guy up there.
Exactly. No. So again, you hear the challenges, all the what ifs, the Republican, the taking you home to your mom, if you have a good relationship with your mom. And of course you want that. A man who has a great relationship with their mother will treat you just like that. So yeah, it's very important.
It is. So I'll still go back and I was staying on this 10 toes down, location, right? So I promise you that you are much more likely to if you go to the aquarium, you probably can't find any fish that you can pull out yourself. But if you go to a space, because they all locked down. See, some people be going to places where you can't pull nothing out of there. You can look at them, but you can't pull them.
That's the word.
They be going straight to the aquarium. Let me get you to a river and a lake, honey.
Okay. I know. Lately, I've been going whitewater rafting and going to Trader Joe's, and I'm like,
you ain't.
I need to go fishing.
You need to go fishing, okay? You gotta go fishing where you can fish. That's what it is. You gotta fish where you can fish, okay? I promise you got to worry about it. Yes. Thank you for those questions. I love that. Look, last thing, whatever you would tell somebody, best thing you would tell somebody in a one word or two to encourage them to keep on believing in love. What's one or two things that you remind yourself about love that you would encourage somebody, if it were a friend, family member, or a person off the street? Whoever wants to go first. Don't struggle.
Yeah. So I'll go first. That you can have and manifest and create the love that you want. I believe you can do it. I believe you can bring it into your life. This is your story. This is your movie. This is your script. These are your characters. You can write in and out anybody you want to write in and out of your life. So let's just be clear. As long as you're in the driver's seat and driving your life and manifesting, that is possible. But it really starts with you. I mean, the reason that I took 6 years off from dating and giving a fuck about anybody other than myself was because I just needed to heal. I didn't want to hurt anyone else. I really wanted to manifest in a different way. I wanted to just be very clear, be very more of a full person. And so you really got to know who you are because, you're going to attract, things into your life based on that. And you're probably not going to change much. But so as long as you're in alignment with this here, you're in a good, position in navigating and dating. And I feel like I'm so glad that my life is going where it is because I feel like I'm in the best position because my career is on lock, my money is set. I'm there's no struggles. I'm just really good. My skin still looks good. So yeah, I'm in my 30s. God, I'm out of freshman, and I just feel like this is the best time because people want to be in relationships, but they ain't got nothing going on. They ain't got their shit together. They ain't got no credit. They ain't got no nothing. They don't know why they want to be in relationships. They just want to have a man. They want a nigga. They just want somebody to lay up with. Well, that's it. We can lay up with somebody, but relationships, blings and rings, and you talking about legacy and creating and manifesting stuff. And so you have to, in order to attract that kind of person, you have to be in that kind of space. And so I feel like I'm in that kind of space now. So I have way more of a chance, if you will, if it's chance, which is chance, but can attract that to my space. And so I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it.
I love that.
Thank you all be excited too.
I'm excited
based on where you are. Everybody, all y'all listening in, be excited to where you are, where you're attracting the loves and dates and based on your wants and your whims, because that's what's showing up.
Amen to that. All right, little Bishop. Go ahead. Ashleigh.
The smoke and drink it, Bishop.
Yeah, that's okay.
I say love yourself first. If you have your self-love and your self-worth, you can conquer anything. Okay? Anything. So, I mean, because earlier we asked you, questions that we had challenges with. I can get somebody that's white, and he can get somebody he can manifest what he needed to. So it's almost, but loving yourself to me comes first. Like if I don't want to be 90 years old and alone, but guess what? I will still be happy. All I want is to build wealth and a legacy for my unborn twins. That's it.
I know that's right, unborn twins. You better speak that.
I want generational wealth. The love will come.
Double for the trouble. I know that's right.
Double for the trouble.
Y'all, thank you so much for being on today. This has been a fun conversation. I just knew this energy would be right with the three of us. So thank you for doing that. I want each of you to tell the people again how they can find you and all of that. Ashleigh, we'll start with you, love.
You can find me at I am Ashleigh Demi on social media, actually on all social media platforms. You can slide in my DMs, send me a message, a like, a comment. My website at ashleighdemi.com.
I love that. And thank you again for being on, Ashleigh. I appreciate it. You added so much to the conversation, and I love your perspective on things. Traditional Black woman, okay?
Okay. I'm old school, I'm old-fashioned, baby. So thank you for having me.
Ain't nobody mad at it. And then Dave, my brother, go ahead and tell people where they can find you.
I own a Black LGBTQ magazine called DBQ, so you can find the magazine at dbqmag.com, dbqmag.com, and my social media, Bridgeforth, my last name, Dave Bridgeforth. So Bridgeforth is my handle, or DBQ Mag on other platforms for the magazine's content as well. So, all right, y'all can be in my DMs too, because I like to go. It goes down the DMs.
It goes down.
Don't go down, baby. Yeah. So
good conversation. People are nervous to talk to me in my DMs now. I done posted a whole thing about what not to say in the DMs, and they don't do that no more.
Now they don't play in mine. They just do the most.
Go straight in, huh?
I want to celebrate you.
That love guru.
I want to to celebrate you because you post a lot of some great content about
Very
dating. I'd be like, yes. I'd be having my own
good
moment. I'm
content.
like, yes. So it's so funny. I just, when you kind of look, you have a question. I mean, Bridgeforth and I, we're super confident. However, when we see an affirmation like yours or a post like yours, we like, damn, he was
But share, retweet, repost.
Share.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
save.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Look, a lot of that stuff, and it's so funny because we talked about this earlier about people copying people, and I really don't copy nobody, anybody's stuff. It literally is from my life and from the lessons I've learned.
You can tell.
It is literally me. So, my language, my verbiage, my energy, and I really, and the work that I do with my clients. And I think because I've had such diverse clients, I've learned that love really can work on any level if you really want it to work. Love is more of a mentality and a decision than it is anything else. And if you decide to love someone, then you can love them. If you can, I tell people all the time, it's not about what you don't like about it, what you like about a person that makes you stay in a relationship. It's what you don't like but can handle. And if you have the strength to handle something, you can really find any reason to be with somebody. Really, I've seen it. So
that is so true.
So I just encourage both of you to remember that you are worth the love you seek. And I just want you to keep seeking higher love because you deserve it. You have earned it, not just by what you've done, but by the recognition of your own self-love and self-worth. So keep staying true to that. And I love you both. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And to everybody watching, I want to make sure you all have a beautiful night. Thank you for watching Love Talk Tuesday with Ashleigh Demi and my brother Dave Bridgeforth. It's been a great talk. We will see you back next week.
Yes.
Good night, y'all.
Good
Cheers.
night.